I'm Julia Ponder, and I am the Executive Director and one of the veterinarians here at the Raptor Center at the University of Minnesota. Well, the owl was transferred to us for evaluation and consultation. It had received care on the East Coast where it was recovered, very good veterinary care, but they had questions about the feathers and the releasability of the owl, so they transferred it to us for evaluation. But his feathers in several areas on his body look like they may have been burned, and that's probably from something like a methane burner.
My name is Lori Arndt, and I am the clinic manager here at the Raptor Center. And one of my roles, kind of the major role that I have, is to really organize and oversee the rehabilitation of the injured patients. Once they are healed from their medical injuries, they then come under my care in order to prepare them for release into the wild. So this bird was sent to us from Washington, D.C., specifically for our expertise in replacing damaged feathers. And that process is called imping. It's an age-old process that falconers created hundreds of years ago, and we've, of course, adapted it and used a little bit more modern tools and technology to get the job done. So basically how imping works is that feather shafts are hollow, and so you can use that to your advantage to insert a pin into the part of the shaft that remains on the bird, and then into the shaft of a new feather that you want to insert. So it kind of connects them in a pin-like fashion. And so what we use is bamboo. Bamboo is like the connector that connects the new feather to the shaft that remains on the bird. And then we whittle it so that it fits nice and snug in the feather shaft, and then we glue it in at the end. And basically these feathers that I've imped will stay in the bird until it goes into a natural molt. And they will be just as functional, allowing the bird to fly and catch food and do everything it needs to do to survive. I like the feathers to set for a good 48 hours, and then the bird will get a test flight. Totally depends on weather, of course, in Minnesota. But basically that will involve attaching leather straps or jesses to the bird's lower legs, and then a line called a creance, which is about 200 to 300 feet in length. And then we take the bird out to a nice open space and encourage it to fly. Now, usually it doesn't take much encouragement because these birds are really scared and they want to be away from us. But basically it's our way to see how well the bird can fly mechanically and then how much condition it still needs before it's strong enough to be released. And then after that, I'll establish an exercise program, essentially a regimen of how many days per week this bird will fly, just to try to get it in shape as quickly as I can so that it can be released. Here. Certainly the Raptor Center, with 40 years of experience, really has excelled and become a leader in doing these types of rehabilitation activities. And so people look to us for our expertise. That's why they sent the bird here, because it really takes a lot of practice and knowledge and a lot of work ahead of time. You saw the bird just on the table, but there was a lot of work that went into picking the right feathers and getting those feathers ready before the bird was even out. And that's the type of experience we have, and that's why people look to us in order to help them, to consult with them, or just to even send the birds here for us to do some of these finer techniques that we have really developed well.